Morning Star. How did the forum, the Ghana Society Forum 2024 go?
Okay, I'll start and maybe Anita would add up.
Sure.
I think it went very well. This by far, I think, is the biggest platform that civil society organizations have had to discuss issues around the work that we do. We had about 300 plus participants at the event. At a point, we had to close registration.
Wow.
We had seasoned speakers at the conference who touched on various topics. We had people, it was a 2-day event, and we had people sit through till the end of the event. So that alone tells us that it was a very, very successful event.
Fantastic. And what was the purpose of this forum, this gathering?
Well, the purpose was for civil society members to have an opportunity to discuss, deliberate, a platform to share their challenges and also find ways of moving forward, looking for solutions that allows them to move forward and to engage better with each other, in that process. And so that was largely the purpose. And we had quite a good number of people who engaged fully and had a good opportunity to deliberate on issues of concern to them and also to forge ways forward, looking at the challenges that we face currently.
And what are the resolutions that you came to?
So there are a number of them. If you permit me, I'll do a few summaries of what some of the issues that we came to. And so the theme I should start with was the civil society at an inflection point, strategizing for increased legitimacy, effectiveness, and sustainability. And so the issues that we arrived at led to those three pillars: sustainability, effectiveness, and legitimacy. And so the issues that we concluded with was to commit ourselves to a number of issues, to continue to convene the Civil Society Forum, which provides the platform for us to discuss our issues and to project ourselves with a unified voice. We also commit to strategize to increase our legitimacy. And so this was to be done through redefining our roles and responsibilities in the development sector, and also to change mindsets around how we define ourselves as recipients of donor funds, and to also see ourselves as having some value that we bring to the table. To also define our constituencies comprehensively, so the people that we work with, the people who are beneficiaries of our work, to build trust with them, to build their capacity in the process, to exhibit and also promote transparency and accountability in that process. To also establish an effective and strategic communication and branding technique among our members by developing strong brand identities, clearly share our messages and our impact stories, and to enhance our visibility using innovative technologies. We also wanted to strategize to increase our effectiveness. And by that doing, we are talking about embracing radical alternatives and perspectives to the discourse on the local and global challenges that we face in Ghana and also among our CSOs, particularly issues related to climate change, governance, among others. To also evolve new forms of citizens' mobilization by leveraging on our social networks, our alliances, technology, building capacity in that process, and fostering active citizenship. To impress upon our donors, those who provide funding for a lot of the work we do, to embrace and incorporate the concept of co-creation and development decision-making, to endeavor to prioritize conceptual clarity. And so we want to project ourselves in a way that we ourselves are clear with the issues that we present, and also we can communicate those accordingly. Then to leverage on technology. In this day, you can't do anything without that, or else you will be left behind. So on issues of sustainability, so we commit to explore innovative models such as social enterprises, private sector partnerships, collaborative grants, and consortium to diversify our funding streams and approaches, and also to build internal capacity among our members through effective corporate governance systems, among others. So those are the issues that we highlighted as commitments that we want to move forward to. But finally, to continue to engage the systems and processes that regulate us in terms of accountability and issues related to that. And so we have this NPO bill that we're working with government to develop. And so that is one point that we need to continue to engage moving forward with government and the stakeholders involved to ensure that the issues that we believe in and stand for are addressed in that bill. And also to commit finally to institutionalizing this forum that we have started, so that every year becomes something that we convene and then discuss our issues and see ways forward.
Okay. So that brings me to, based on the resolution that you have, what are some of the teething challenges that CSOs have in Ghana today?
Okay, so some of the challenges CSOs have currently, firstly, is funding. There is dwindling donor funding after COVID. The foreign or donor support from the global north has dwindled significantly. So there's that challenge, and a lot of civil society organizations are struggling to survive, which in turn means that they are not able to serve their constituents the way they used to. Another major challenge that we have as civil society has to do with the lack of a legal framework or an enabling environment. So the issue about the NPO bill, this has been ongoing for a very long time. And usually when you have a framework under which you work, it helps to regulate the sector, but also gives you some sort of legitimacy and, all the things you need to be able to strive and to thrive. And so these are some of the major challenges that currently we are facing as civil society organizations.
So based on this major challenge of funding, has it become a lot more imperative to partner with government?
Yes, I think partnering with government has always been something that we do. We have various coalitions working around education, health, the environment, and most of these interventions, the role that we play as civil society organizations is to complement government efforts. So definitely we work with government on several issues, but what we are looking for right now to be able to partner so well with government is around the NPO bill, and I'll hammer on that because it's so relevant that we have such a bill. And right now, Ghana is part of the blacklisted countries because we don't have a regulatory framework, issues around money laundering and all that. So donors are also very concerned about the fact that we do not have this framework. So we are looking forward to partnering with government, especially around the NPO bill, for us to engage and discuss the content of the bill and how the content is going to affect the work that we do as complementers of government efforts in development.
Okay, great. So what will be the way forward for the CSOs after this forum? Looking forward to what's coming in the next year.
Okay, so moving forward, we would want to continue to engage with government, particularly on the NPO bill. And so that means that we need to engage our stakeholders or our civil society organizations across the country once again, and to understand their issues and how we can collate those issues into a kind of a paper that we can present to government to ensure that the issues that they've raised will form an imperative part of the NPO bill. And so that is one key step that we want to move forward with. Again, we want to also look at the issues of funding and look at how we can strategize to look for alternatives to the traditional funding streams that we've had. And so during the forum, we had options such as private enterprise collaborations. We are looking at social enterprises, consortiums, other forms of fundraising that may be relevant for us now, considering the dwindling global funding challenge.
All right.
Yeah, and just to add to what she said, in other jurisdictions like South Africa, Kenya, they have policies that are so friendly and allows for internal resource mobilization, so local philanthropy. When people give towards the work that civil society organizations do, or they give towards charitable organizations, they get some sort of tax incentives, you know, so they are able to mobilize internally, they are able to raise funds internally to support the issues that they have within their communities. And I think it's something that government should consider doing. And we've been talking about having a philanthropy policy in Ghana, and I think having such a framework would help us to be able to mobilize internally, look within. We talk about Ghana Beyond Aid. How do we look within to mobilize? But if there's no incentive to giving, then it becomes a challenge.
Difficult.
So yes, we are looking at all of those things as well.
Okay,
There
unfortunately,
are also other options, you know, in other countries where we've looked to for donor support. They mobilize through their government taxes from their citizens. And so in Ghana, it should probably be one of the avenues we look at. The taxes that we collect in the country, how can we divert some into development work for CSOs? And so that legitimizes government's effort to regulate our work as well. And so that is an option that we
can be
also
considered.
discuss.
Unfortunately, time's not my good friend, but I thank you very much for joining us this morning. Good that this forum has happened. I hope that the needed support that's required to ensure that we continue to grow and do better is sustained and maintained. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Feruza Salisu, member of the Planning Committee from Starr Ghana Foundation, and Anita Jando, Planning Committee member, Ghana Civil Society Forum 2024, and Secretary for the Ghana Monitoring Evaluation Forum. Okay, Ms. Carson.